Hey everybody, I am Not the Boss for Gorlon's Army, and joining me today is...
Gossipwaffle.
And AgeJ.
And today we're going to talk about some great tips for the new hit game Horizon Zero Dawn for the PlayStation 4. First on our list is Save Often. AJ, can you kind of delve into a little bit on Save Often?
Yes, because, what I found out from playing the game is that sometimes things don't go your way. Sometimes you get mauled by a bunch of sawtooths or striders or ravagers, and you die. And when you die, you kind of lose progress. So the best thing to do is just to save at every single campfire, even if it's just a quick save. Just do it, because then you go back to that last fire that you were at.
That definitely does help because one thing that I know Gossipwaffle and I have talked about a lot is that Horizon is not like other games that we've been used to lately, where it's auto saves every 5 seconds. If you don't save, that's completely on you. So definitely some good advice.
Now there are some autosaves, but the problem with that is it autosaves when it wants to. So it's not technically at a certain point after you've reached some goal. It'll just autosave maybe 10 seconds later and you go back to an autosave and you've lost the important stuff.
Yeah, and when the autosave mostly is for when you fall off something and die. It's not really for when you get attacked by machines and you die, or a battle in with bandits and die. It's mostly for when you fall and die.
Awesome. So that was number one.
Number 2 is dodge often.
Dodge often, yes, because you want to run from those machines and get as much distance between them and you as much as possible as you can. Give you that time to switch arrows or to aim.
Now I know that it's not one that's for everybody, but one weapon that I found a lot of use with is the Tripcaster. And again, I may like it, but I know AJ has a different view on it. Because I'm not big on dodging. I would rather slow them down and take the shots. You want to give kind of a little bit more on your viewpoint on that one?
I play a lot with bow and arrows. That's what I use. That's what I'm comfortable with, which is another tip later on, which I guess we can elaborate on here, which is stick to your play style. Is that I like to use bow and arrows, and which with the dodge a lot, that works because you can roll around and you can get that time to get that next shot off while you're thinking about what you're going to do next.
Awesome, thank you. And next on our list is crafting. So kind of jumping into a little bit of Minecraft here. What do you think?
Not so much Minecraft as so much as maybe enough room in your inventory so you can have 70 items for room for resources, room for different outfits that you can switch off to, different weapons, modifications for the weapons and the armor. So you want to have enough room for that as well.
Awesome, thank you. And finally on our list?
Manage inventory. Don't collect everything. This is a big one for me because I will literally collect every single thing I see, which I've realized if you do this, you're going off on your own into uncharted territory.
I have done literally the same thing. I've actually had the boss ask me why I'm stealing all that stuff from this village, because I just walk around the entire place, and anything that has a little spot where I can hit that triangle, I am grabbing it. So why is that bad?
Because you run out of inventory space fast. This game is not forgiving with your inventory space unless, like I said before, unless you craft. But even when you get to the final crafting for the inventory, you only have 100 spots, and that doesn't leave a lot of room, especially when you're collecting lots of wires and stuff that's not really useful. Like, for me, the potions aren't very useful, but I was collecting fire kin roots thinking that they were going to be useful for me, but they weren't. They were just taking up inventory that I could have used for, like, say, more wire or echo shells, stuff more useful for arrows.
So what do you think the most important items to collect would be and hold on to?
Stuff for crafting arrows and tripwires, like I said, wire, echo shells, ridgewood, sparkers, blaze blaze canisters is a big one for the fire arrows, and basically have like, because the inventory space, you have some items like Ridgewood, you have 250 in one spot. You want to save about maybe 5 slots for Ridgewood. If it goes much more beyond 1,000, that's probably a lot, and you probably want to cut back on that. But let's say the wire or the sparkers, each slot is 100 for the wire and the sparkers. So maybe keep 10 for that, for 10 slots for that, and then you have like the blaze, I think maybe the blaze, and echo shells, which is 50. And for that you just want to keep maybe about 10 slots, again for 500, right? 50 times 10 is 500, yes. Just enough to get you by through the game.
Awesome, thank you. And then finally on our list, we've got use the machine catalog. Now, this is not something I'm too familiar with. I haven't done a whole lot of poking around in the machine catalog.
Yes, the machine catalog. Every time you use your focus to scan a new machine, it tells you the weak spots, of course. But if you press the middle pad button, it will take you straight to the machine catalog in the main menu, and it will go with a list of telling details about that machine, all their weak points, how to take advantage. Like it will tell you, say what are they called? The corruptors. It will tell you the weak spots, like the actual corruptor bit, and then the grenades. They're vulnerable to tear, which is precision arrows, and tear blaster arrows, or the tear blaster itself. And also it tells you that their weakness is fire, so you want to shoot fire arrows or fire traps, tripwire. Is that what they're called? Like I said, I don't use the tripwire.
Awesome. And then I know that you'd mentioned earlier there was a little bit more on stick to your playstyle. Is there anything else you wanted to address on sticking to your playstyle?
Whatever makes you more comfortable. Like I said, I'm more comfortable with the bows and arrows, but if you want to do stealth, because I have a background of playing Assassin's Creed, so I'm used to stealthing around in the bushes and getting those silent kills, silent strikes, I believe. I act like I haven't played the game before. I'm used to doing that, sneaking around and getting those stealth kills, and then once everybody is out, I just go for who's ever left, because the weak ones. And like NotTheBoss says, he likes to use traps for the anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not big on sneaking around and poking around on the side because I have a small attention span. So I see a giant herd of them, and and I just want to immediately jump at that, which has caused me to die a lot. But definitely, I like to use the tripcaster and get some area down where I can let them fall into it. So oftentimes I'll set maybe 3 or 4 of the tripcaster traps when there's a big herd of them, and as I poke them and get them running, they'll run into that, and I can pop a few arrows into them.
But that's what the different weapons are for. They're for different playstyles, which is good for a game. Just be forgiving in different playstyles, sort of.
Exactly. How about you, Gossipwaffle? What are you more like?
Okay, the Gossipwaffle playstyle is trying to be like AgeJ in sneaking around, but then, like NotTheBoss, getting a very short attention span. So I'll sneak around until I can get a silent strike. If I can't, usually I forget which button to push, and I wind up swinging my my spear to get everyone's attention, and then beating them and dodging. And that's why dodging is a really big part, because you can be destroyed, or you can dodge everything until you're rolling away from disaster, literally.
And it's a faster way to move too. While you're sneaking, you can dodge to the next what do you want? Not rose bush. I was going to call them rose bush. Whatever those red
Tall
bushes.
grass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tall grass.
Yeah, when I first started playing the first probably 20-30 minutes, I didn't know that you could sprint, so I just dodged everywhere. So many times the boss was asking me, why are you rolling around the entire map?
Because it's fun.
But we hope you've enjoyed. We hope some of these tips have definitely helped you guys out. I have been Not the Boss, joined tonight by
Gossipwaffle.
and
AgeJ.
we hope that these tips for Horizon Zero Dawn have definitely been a big help. Be sure to check out the other videos. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think. If there are any tips that are working really well for you, let us know in the comments. Thanks, guys.